Yo, what up, guys? It's your boy Williams Fitness back again with another video, and we've got Mactruck on again. And
Yes, yes.
today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing something special. We're going to be giving more truth about the industry. Obviously, we've done the raw and uncut. Now we're going to do some homegrown truths and put some facts out there about a lot of shit that's been going on. Mac, how are you, buddy?
Man, I'm blessed, dude. I'm blessed. You know, everything that's been going on from the time I turned pro into now has been nothing but success, and it actually helped us become friends, instead of like you just following my stuff without me knowing,
Yeah, yeah.
me turning pro and everything, it helped us become friends and it's genuine. So that's why I'm like, dude, we gotta fucking do rants. We got to put some things together because we both have raw and uncut channels. We straight to the point. We're not sugarcoating anything, and we're not trying to like disrespect anyone. We just speak the truth. That's just what it is. So
Couldn't
yeah.
agree more with that. Yeah, it's a case of we're not out here trying to hurt anybody, but we're not out here trying to desensitize situations for other people as well. If we've got something to speak on, we'll speak on it, and not sort
Right.
of let the chips fall where they may. Obviously, we have. I think we've both got a very good moral grounding and respect to a lot of people in the industry, and you've like, highlight this the most because you and the whole Rich thing, obviously you were shit on a lot with the whole situation, not just with Rich personally, but from Rich's fans. And obviously after the whole, yeah, I can only imagine. Like I've spoke to Chanel a lot. She still gets a lot of shit to today. So
Yeah.
for you to still speak about him in a high regard after the shit he's done to you and the shit that happened, that to me shows more of how respectful you are to other people in the industry, even when they've done you wrong, so to speak. Obviously,
Right.
you're not a pushover. You're not gonna like take shit on the chin and walk away. As we fucking saw that you didn't take anything on the chin. If anyone took something on the chin, it was Rich. But
Right. Right.
but
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
yeah. See, the thing is, like, I'm a realist. When I'm wrong, I admit that I'm wrong. I'm the first one to put out an apology video. I'm the first one to eat crow when I'm wrong. But when I'm right, I'm going to stand on it. And even though everybody is still, after nearly 3 years, attacking me because of the whole Rich Piana thing, it sucks because that was one incident. And they say that I'm steadily elevating in a positive way. So I can see if I had a pattern of showing up to every event and just starting shit. I'm clearly just a man that stands for something, and I will be respected because I'm going to give respect off top. And when I'm not being respected, I'm going to politely try to remove myself out of the situation. But if I'm backed in a corner, the only thing I can do is protect myself, regardless if I have to get physical, verbally attack someone, or whatever the case may be. And you don't really hear things like that. You hear everything negative on my response to people that came at me, and with all that being said, the end of the day is not the fact on what I did to Rich that everybody is so glued to. It's the fact that I'm black, dark skinned as fuck, tattoos from the ghetto, and made a way up out of the ghetto. Instead of them actually looking at it like, oh, it's possible. You can actually, like, you can make it somewhat in life without doing the typical things as making it out as a rapper or a basketball player, a football player, a big drug dealer. Like, you can actually make your way out. And the obstacles that I took and all the cards that I had, I just knew how to bluff my way through poker to elevate. I didn't have the best hand, and I have not once complained or played the victim. I took it all on the chin. And everybody is still just trying to hold that over me. But if you pay attention, the ones that are doing that are the ones that's looking for a cash cow. and I don't like to think that I'm higher than anyone, but they're beneath me, you know, so they use
morally,
me. Yeah, like they're using me for a cash cow, because if they really cared, that title did not match my words in a Generation Iron. It wasn't Mac Truck talking about his drug addiction. It was Mac Truck experience with a friend trying to talk to him about his addiction outside of other demons. You see, it wasn't no like, but the title alone and putting Rich on the thumbnail as well made it to where that I got all this disrespect again, you know, and it's not going to end.
What were we even on about?
Oh man, it just straight power down.
I'm leaving this in.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So yeah, but like I was saying, like they try to make it seem like I was being racist, attacking the white guys and the white kids, and like I'm like, no, it's whitewashed black dudes coming for me. I said it's whitewashed Latinos. Every culture is coming for me that's not putting themselves in the shoes of someone that was brought up in that environment.
Yeah.
You know, and I just like the end of the day, it's over. It's over. Those that's trying to cash out on it is not really genuinely concerned on what happened. You know,
I think that's just it. It's not like that they're out, you know, like obviously Generation Iron and obviously RX Muscle are just as bad. They're bringing it up week in, week out, them old guys. And it's like, the only thing I don't understand is what is it achieving? Like, obviously getting you on, it should have been about you. It should have been about your pro card. Maybe spoke on Ambrosia. Obviously, like Chanel put it the same way you did. Obviously, you can't talk about your career, or as it were, without mentioning Rich Piana's name. You know, it's part of, you know, whether you want to call it a stepping stone, you know, a step on the ladder, whatever it was. Obviously, that got the ball rolling for where you're at today. So when obviously Generation 9 reached out to you, what did they say? Was it supposed to be about you? Was it a bit like of a biography thing?
Yeah, what it is, like that interview is, I think it's like maybe 4 more interviews. The recording was long. Now what they did was walk step by step, and Rich was the beginning of people's knowing about me. So that's why they came with that first. So we went from talking about Rich to the strip club, from the strip club to bodybuilding, to my household, my family, and all of that. So it's like they went step by step, and when we did it, my wife ran from upstairs like, "Hey, that's enough about Rich. Like, you know, you need to talk more about Mac Truck. Focus on what it is about him. Like, I'm tired of hearing it." She said, "I'm listening to you guys upstairs, and it's just too much." And right away, Vlad was like, he switched it around. He understood, but I still understood that he was trying to put a story together from the beginning part to middle and on to where I'm at now, because I can't say an ending because we're still growing, we're still elevating. So I understand where he went. It was just that title. It could have been a better title. It could have been Mac Truck talks more in depth about him and Rich Piana's friendship outside of bodybuilding or
Did you know he was going to bring the drugs thing up, or was that like?
I didn't know anything. I didn't know nothing about nothing. But a lot of people know that by now that I'm openly honest about whatever it is. And if they ask me, I'm going to answer, you know, because that's what I expect others to do, but they don't. So it was just, he was coming with the answers, and I asked him, and he was just like, wow, like I never interviewed anyone that was openly honest and didn't run from a question, you know. And I didn't run from it because like it's my story, you know, it's my life. It's a part of where I'm at now. It's a major part on why I don't want to partake in any drugs. You know, I do drink my liquor. You know, I'm gonna drink some Patron. Oh, we're on RX Muscle now.
Yeah. So I noticed. I've spoke to Chanel. Chanel's told me quite a bit, and obviously I'm not going to speak on her behalf. I wouldn't do that on anyone. But from what I can gather, watching the RX Muscle videos, whether it's Iron Rage or whatever, they claim that they're coming out with new information on Rich Piana's death. They claim it's just constantly like fake shit, fake news to draw people in. And then by the time it gets to that part of the video, people have forgot why they clicked on it in the first place.
Exactly.
So apparently there's some sort of private investigation going on, which has been funded by, from what I can gather, Rich Piana's mum. And there's a lot of background issues between Rich Piana's estate and his wife, and well, ex-wife or whatever is it Jane? I think her name is.
Yeah, Jane.
Yeah, so there's loads of like obviously personal shit going on with that. So I think from what I can gather, his mum's arranged for this private investigator to do some digging because apparently no one believes how he died, even though, you know, shit came out. Oh, I just swore.
Right.
What was that? Sorry, brother.
No, it's okay. That girl's more than us.
So, long story short, I think it's just like some sort of fucking conspiracy theory, like he's bloody or something. And obviously, you know, I think you're obviously aware that the toxicology of his bloods went missing and all that kind of shit. And I think most people probably can presume what he died of. There's no obviously actual facts on paper from a doctor. But like I said, what was winding me up personally was I'd go online and I'd seen like, I did watch the interview with you because I thought, oh, I've just interviewed him. I wonder what they did different or if we spoke about anything different. So I watched it. And I thought, they're just fucking drilling this Piana thing. And then Shell reached out to me and she's like, oh, have you seen the RX Muscle one? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Someone else went on there. So then there's some fucking Ivan Summit channel. He's doing it. I'm like, what the fuck is everyone going on about him for? It's ridiculous. It's like, I don't even understand it. Obviously, like you say, they'll put his picture on the thumbnail. Everyone's clicking. He's still got a big fan base. But like I said in my video, everybody put him on this pedestal like he was untouchable and perfect. And it turned out he was fucking human. Turned out he had his vices, whether it was drugs. Like me and you probably, you know, on a weekend or in an evening, you know, have a beer or, you know, a few shots or whatever. I mean, I'm always down for that. But obviously for Rich, it was obviously somewhat more serious. And nobody wants to talk about the root of why he was doing that shit. Like, they asked you about the drugs, but they never, what pissed me off with that was as well, it was like, they didn't exactly go, why do you think he was doing it? And like when we spoke off record, for you even said, and in your words were, it was, drink wouldn't be enough to numb, you know, whatever was going on with him.
Absolutely.
And I think in this day and age with like mental health, fucking anxiety, depression, Generation Iron, I think, had a responsibility, given the, you know, the stature and size that they are, to delve a little bit deeper and maybe ask, you know, even if it was just your opinion, why do you think he was doing X, Y, and Z, and a bit more of a background into it. If they're going to go into that sort of an angle of a story, I think they owed it to the people watching. So, you know, just as an obligatory way to say, Luke, you know, maybe he was doing it because he was anxious. Like you said, he didn't really like being around people. So obviously that was anxiety. If that was playing on his mind, you know, was he getting depressed by it? Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And like I totally agree with you, because that could have spent off to other peoples that's facing those type of demons to know that, wow, I look up to this dude and he was battling the same thing. This will be my end game if I don't seek help, you know. And like, I thought he had everything going so well in his life. So for him to be battling this form of this depression and trying to stay numb off of all these different narcotics was, you know, it could have been an eye opener, and it could have been a lesson in the video. It could have been a message. It could have been something that actually reaches to a person and make them feel a part of it, instead of having people feeling rage and just closing their mind to what I'm actually saying, and wasn't paying attention to the fact that I was the one constantly battling him where he don't want to hear, are you clean still? You know, they didn't want to hear that part, that I was willing to jeopardize my friendship.
That was what was frustrating, because when we ended our interview, And we spoke probably longer after the interview than the actual
Yeah,
interview. And
right,
obviously, you made some really valid points, like with the whole numbness thing. And you said, "Oh, Rich, have you tried alcohol? Have you tried doing this?" And the amount, you know, you said time and time again, you'd constantly be going around there. How long have you been off? And proactively trying to put him on the right path. And I don't
right.
think that message was portrayed by Generation 9 enough. And I don't think they
It wasn't.
delved. I don't think they took the right approach to it. To them, they just saw the headline and they just
Mhm.
ran with that, not what was behind that. And I think
Right.
from what you told me, you could have put a better message across if they'd only asked you the right questions.
Exactly. Absolutely. Because they seen the title, they went straight to the comments. So apparently they're gonna be like, well, I don't have to watch the whole video if everybody is feeling this type of way, you know. And like a handful that actually watched the video was like, damn, that was great of you. You know, you really tried because um, like I say, me and Rich hung together 6 days a week. Chanel can testify to this, you know, because there's numerous times we'll meet up. Chanel is there, or if, when he was with Sarah, the same thing. And I would, you know, because I looked up to him, so I wanted him to be this role model that I envisioned. And when I seen that he had flaws like a normal human, I was like, oh, okay, you're normal, but we can work through this. And I knew that his end game it wasn't gonna make it past where he went because we had a deep conversation after we did the Generation Iron movie, and they edited me out of the movie. I was in a whole Venice Beach scene with him, and they edited me out of it once me and Rich had our fallout. And I know Rich, the type of person, he's not gonna call him like, oh, take Mac Truck out of it. Rich was still stand up, whether he portrayed this tough guy persona or not. He still was a stand up guy, and he still knew that what we did, it was over with. He knew I was angry with him. He said it on his RX Muscle video, like, Mac Truck was my favorite athlete. He's angry with me. It wasn't he hate me. He's trying to destroy me. It was he's angry with me, and I was angry with you, dude. You dropped the ball. You let me down. You know, and if time would have went on, I'm 100% sure that we would have been amended because it wasn't as bad as it was. Yeah, my mom started calling. I had to send her the voicemail. She don't want.
I do that all the time.
She don't want anything. Like, don't interrupt me right now, Mom. I'm grown. Yeah, so I think if they would have targeted more on painting a picture of the type of friendship we had outside of the spotlight, peoples would have understood and knew why things went the way that they went. They wouldn't have been, because a lot of folks thought that I was doing it for views and all of this. And then when they realized, like, nah, that's how this motherfucker is. It's not for views. It's not to create a name, because like I'm not that arrogant to think that I'm larger than someone. It's just I'm gonna respect you. And even when the incident happened, I didn't get loud. I didn't raise my voice. He's still talking, so I shut up. Like, let's leave this shit alone. You
Do you
know,
feel that?
so
Do you feel that? Do you feel that you were villainized instead of not idolized, but almost Generation 9 could have raised your persona better? So obviously, rather than playing a good guy, bad guy, do you think they've put you in the bad guy role when actually the fact of the matter is, prior to the whole beef thing, you were helping him just as much as he was helping you?
exactly.
Do you think that's where they dropped the ball?
Yeah, because they had the platform to actually paint my story. They had the platform to actually reach to people, because I'm doing all the grunt work with still staying exactly true to who I am. And those slowly are, you know, turning around, because I still get messages every day like, I used to hate you because I'm a diehard Rich fan. But as I start digging into your videos, like, you're positive, like you're open about the bodybuilding community, you're open about your enhancements, you're open about your parenting, your relationship with your wife. And, you know, so they had the opportunity to actually paint that vision, but they took the lower road to like, let's just keep this motherfucker in this doghouse, because if we need another interview, we know that we'll get hundreds of thousands of views by asking him something else, like, oh, did Rich dye his hair or some shit, you know? And if like Mac Truck exposed Rich Piana for covering up his grades, you know? So
it just feels like they've taken it back 3 years.
Like, it put me back at square one.
Like when I asked you to come on, it was like, obviously we had to briefly touch on Rich, but I didn't want to.
You didn't want to. You was adamant about not doing it. I'm like, nah, let's just speed through the beginning and get there. You know, it was as bad. It was so bad that for about 3 months, children's services and cops was coming to my house. So my kids had to strip naked numerous of times because they was lying, saying that I beat my kids, I beat my wife.
Who was? Like
Rich
his fans.
His fans.
Wow.
You go by there, Big Day? All right. Oh, okay. All right. Good looking out. Okay. Yeah, that's my contractor. He's a beast. Yeah. So, like, it was terrible. So I went through all of that, being embarrassed in front of my neighbors, you know, and constantly for like, and then it was nothing I could do to protect myself. If a person put an anonymous call out saying that abusing kids and shit, and then it just got to the point to where the last time they came, I said, just take me to jail, because I'm not about to let y'all strip my kids naked again, because y'all traumatize them. These is kids. Yeah. And at the time, my daughter, my oldest, she was about, I think, 15 going on 16. Like, this is a teenager. Now you want to see her privates, you know, and I was just like, just take me to jail. I'm not doing it. And they didn't. And then when the cops came into my house, they seen all my trophies and my swords. They was like, oh, I used to bodybuild. So they became cool. And then I put the video on and showed them. It was like, what, no kids around that. You didn't have your kids at this. It was like, all you did is pop this big old dude in the mouth. It was like, what is they talking about? You? It was kids around. You had kids with you. You put people's lives in danger. They're like, this is not what we're seeing. So I say, I need something that can protect me, because I'm not fit to keep on letting y'all come to my house. I'm like, this is 3 months going into 3 months of not knowing if my kid's going to get taken or if I'm going to go to jail, to where it was to the point where I was like, just lock me up. And it stopped. I don't know if the anonymous calls stopped or if they put something in there once the cops actually seen that I'm not with it, and it just stopped. And it stopped right away. Sure. You know? Yeah, so it was like nothing good came from it. That's why when they was trying to make it seem like I was trying to gain anything, it was all terrible, because where I come from, we don't do stuff in front of the camera. Like, I'm old school. Yeah. And in that moment, I'm not worried about like, oh, who have a camera on me? Who this and that? You know, because that incident with me and Rich was brewing for 2 months. It was a back and forth beef on social media, to where he would go into my comments on my post, calling me all type of bitches and keyboard warriors. Mactrucc'S is the whitest black guy I know. He's a bitch. We could fight in a cage. How about you lock the cage? I'm gonna whoop his ass. So it was, Chloe, go sit down somewhere, please. Oh my God. So it was like a lot of back and forth. So the fans knew. That's why when he was like, let's take a walk, he knew that everybody was going to follow. Because he did an interview with Generation I, was like, you know, they was like, you know, we seen videos of you calling people's out, telling them to come to your booth. He was like, yeah, think about it. Who's going to fight in the expo? You call them out, tell them to come to your booth. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to fight at the expo. He thought the same thing. But Rich, like he say, I'm the whitest black guy he know. At the end of the day, I'm still a guy. I'm still a man. Yeah. Like, I stand for something. So he thought that it was going to be this whole shoulder shove, or we walk and we shout, and I just started shouting. I'm not going to shout. I'm going to smile. I'm not going to get mad. And if I get close enough to get my shot, I'm going to take it. Yeah. I'm not going to wait for you to turn around and hit you from the back. I'm going to let you see it coming, and it's up to you to be quick enough to counter it or dodge it. Unfortunately, he wasn't quick enough for neither one. But after that blow, I got out of that space and left Rich alone, even with all the chaos. Because I look and I see his eyes. I left Rich alone because I did enough. At the end of the day, that still was like family to me. That's why in the interview I say that's a family member I don't want nothing to deal with. I don't want nothing to do with him. My kids know him as Uncle Rich. They still have nothing but respect for Rich. And that's where I wanted to stay because I didn't want nothing to happen to him. And I knew he was going to do it to himself eventually because he was loaded with cash. He didn't have no cap on his addiction, you know, and the people that he was around didn't care about him enough to just be like, fuck it, I'm going to just go ahead and let him cuss me out. Like, it'd go to the point to where he wouldn't talk to me for a whole week because I irritated him about it. Like, whatever.
You think that's because all the other people were just yes men, just saying what they think?
Yeah, because you got to remember, Rich was large as life. We all looked at him as like this unhumanly type of man. So the best thing you could do to still stay close to him is just be like, yeah. And I was the totally opposite. You know, I introduced Rich back to riding Harleys. The one he had was one of mine. I took it, rebuilt it for him, had my own, had his. So I put him back into that limelight, you know, of living free. You know, it's sad on how it went. I'm glad we had the experience of enjoying those parts and those phases of life because there's been plenty of times he's been inside this same house. We sat in the same area, or we'd be in my bedroom looking on the bigger TV, watching different stuff on YouTube. So we had a friend. It was a real brotherhood. That's why I felt that if we argue, we can argue. It's not going to go to the heart, you know. And after that incident, I just knew I had to just keep poking at him, making fun, because I never put anything out stating that I'm a hurt Rich. It was always making fun of his feeder workouts, cleaning my vehicles with the shirt, stuff that I knew that would irritate him. And he never responded with anything because deep down he know he was wrong. I wasn't wrong for that thing turning like that because he engaged that. I didn't. So in order to let it go, he just ignored it. You know, he just was like, fuck it.
If he was here today and you could like say anything to him, what would you say?
I laugh about it.
Would you like not like obviously not knowing that obviously he was going to pass and stuff, but would you squash it or would you have? Do you think over time it would have got squashed anyway?
Yeah, I would have squashed it because that wasn't me and Rich first time falling out, not talking. Because the first time after the Arnold, we fell out. I haven't talked to Rich for about 8 months, and then we got back together. We both apologized for how things went. And at that time, 5% was large. And we, because the first time he was with Mutant, we sitting here, he decided to leave Mutant. He was like, it's not worth it. It's not enough money. I'm willing to take my chances on my own. I was like, whatever you decide, I'm going to back you. I'm in it the whole way and all of this. So we fell out before. So I know for a fact we would have both came back together. We both would have apologized about it. I would have 9 times out of 10, I wouldn't apologize for hitting him. I would apologize for the scenery on hitting him. Because if he'd have been still, like if we was at home and he saw like that, we'd have been tussling still, you know. But like, because I wasn't going after him into the racist rant, so we'd have had a deep conversation about that because I know he's not racist. I just know he probably the type that didn't want to see his kind dating another kind when he's with that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm dating you, you shouldn't be with black guys. You shouldn't want a black guy because I'm not fucking black. So apparently you really don't want me.
The racist rant was at Chanel, wasn't it?
No, that wasn't Chanel. That was another Amy. It was Amy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amy's cool. She loves animals. She's PETA. She's all for animals. Like, Amy is really a cool person. You know, when the incident happened with me and Rich, Amy was the first person to actually reach out and was like, I believe you. She was like, because I experienced so much of the same things that you're talking about. Like, I believe you. Rich wasn't physically a woman abuser, but verbally. He would verbally abuse the fuck out of a person, but um I would have for sure meant it because
Didn't Amy sell the recording?
Hmm?
She sold the recording, didn't she? Because it was from years ago or something.
She didn't sell it.
Oh,
She
just
gave it up. She you got momentum going. People are listening to you. I think this helped paint a picture of how perfect he's not. And when I heard it, when he was just like, "Oh, would you be with a black nigger?" I was like, that didn't bother me at all. I was like, I can't do nothing with this. He just said a black nigger. Like, it's a dude, uses chick, he's pissed. But then he was like, what would you think if I was with a black nigger bitch? And I said, oh shit. I said, this motherfucker's tripping. So it's time for me to put this out because he's a role model. And certain things with us being role models, we have to tread differently. Like, I'm still learning to tread different, to transition, because I don't want kids to think like, oh, it's cool to go from being a gang member, a fuck up, and dabbling in so many things, and that you can possibly be like this, because everybody don't get that chance.
Yeah.
And from my neighborhood, I don't know anyone that got the shot and the chance that I have. I don't know no one. So it's possible, but it's very rare. So I wouldn't want them to think that it's super cool to be on some thugged out gangbanging stuff. That's why I'm trying to be a role model for the youth first, and then those of my age that that's not really fully grown in the mind, but grown in the shell. So I'm just trying to be a whole lot mindful, a whole lot respectful with my surroundings and everything. And so far, everything has been amazing. It's just people's is not going to let me live past the rich thing, because it wasn't really that bad if you think about it. It's two grown men.
The problem was, it was like you say, there was that many cameras out there, and then every channel just threw it out there. Everybody just kept repeating it, getting different camera angles. Then there was the whole Jason Genova fucking shit that Rich did.
Now, that's the reason right there why I smacked him, because I know Rich. He's a bully. He smacked the shit out of Jason. I said, I'm not fit to be the next Jason on fucking camera, because he kept getting closer and saying, are you fucking scared? I said, Rich about to slap the shit out of me. I'm about to pop his ass first. So right then and there, that's the only fucking reason why I smacked Rich, because I knew he was going to smack me, because I watched him do Jason like that. And this dude was apologizing. He's slow. That don't mean he's not smart. He's very intelligent, but his mind frame is just not sharp as the average person. So he's apologizing. He's humbled himself all the way down. He reaches out for a handshake. You challenges him to a slap boxing match. And it wasn't you was literally trying to knock his head off his shoulders, and right then and there, I called Rich right away. I said, dude, what are you doing? Like, you don't see what's going on right now? You all over the media. He like, words exactly his. I wanted to fucking hurt him, bro. I wanted to hurt him. I said, dude, I seen it in your eyes. I said, if I was you, I'll reach back out to this kid and I'll let him slap me the fuck up. I said, you need to let him slap you up, dude, because this is not looking good for you. You're too big. And your platform is too large for you to be slapping a mentally challenged grown man that's like a kid. And this was shortly after you not slapping Prophet Muscle. So it's not looking freaking good at all.
I didn't think of that, actually. Yeah. I mean, I can understand why Rich wanted to hit him, because he did that.
Like the Order 66 and all of that. And I can understand it, but let's be honest, none of those dudes were in position to get close to Rich.
I think his wife Rich going over to him should have been enough to scare the shit out of Jason Genova.
Do you know some of them Order 66 dudes came to the booth? They was at the booth at the LA, like Order 66. They're like this tall. I'm like, come on, dude. order 66. You can't go order that Happy Meal. You don't get up out of here. So there were little bitty dudes, you know, that I was like, Rich, you can't let that piss you off, dude. It was crazy, man. It was some interesting times with that. And the more we talk, the more I remember those things. So that's the main reason why I had to hit him first, because I knew once he raised his voice, I'm like, Rich is moving closer. The only thing that was separated was the rope and about 3 feet. And I was like, he's getting closer. His next move is going to be a smack. Back. Are you fucking scared? Nah. Let's just speed this up right now. And after that, I still was like, don't worry about it. We'll still be in here. After the expo, we can do whatever you want. And that's when I turned around and this big old blob come and kick my buddy. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, come on now. Now we got to take it there. Now I don't know who to trust. I'm just all over the place. And Rich was wide open numerous times, but I was like, I'm not fit to touch him. Like, I don't have like this anger grudge towards him to want to touch him. I was angry with him for letting me down, you know, for dropping the ball and everything. And after he passed, I understood why Rich had got super paranoid, because look at how Sarah put the video out with Rich shit-faced in the hotel. You so concerned and care so much, but you're recording them.
Yeah.
And right then and there, my heart just dropped and got heavy, because I'm like, damn, he really was alone by himself. I'm like, his only hope was me being there to tell him like it is, whether he want to hear it or not. And she's recording this man out of his fucking mind. And people see the video, but they still want to make it seem like I'm attacking him as a drug abuser. It was already put out there. And she waited till he was dead to do that. I was pissed. I made a video talking shit to her about waiting till he's gone to tarnish his legacy that he built.